Right. Alrighty. This greenback greasy as hell. Let's get that bit stop. Amazing, amazing, amazing. My hair looks crazy. Hello, hello to whoever just joined in, the first guest of the evening. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Yungfleur Live Space. I'm Yungfleur. We are live. Who is this joining in? Oh, ooh. Looks like whoever it was disappeared. But let's see. Hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's going on, Tink? Welcome to the space. Gotta knock back one of these Celsius, girl, because it's been a day. But I'm here. Welcome, welcome, welcome to everyone that is joining in. If there are some other people, let's see. And let me actually go ahead and do my due diligence. I still did not send the live into the group chat like I'm supposed to. So let's get that going. But how are you doing, babe? How is it going? I feel like today has been like 2 days in one. I think part of it is because I'm like tired. I'm good eating. Cute, cute, cute. What are we eating? What's for dinner? What's for din? I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. Coming off the end of the day. It feels like I was saying, I feel like today was like 2 whole days in one. I think part of it is because I've been getting back on a routine schedule. Or maybe, okay, yeah, it was long. So maybe it just wasn't me. Because I was like, I feel like I went to work and then I came home and I've been here for like the past 3 hours, but it feels like it's been like 5 or 6. I feel like it's been half a day. I've been home already. But I don't mind it. I'm enjoying the longer days. I'm enjoying the longer months that we have coming ahead. So that'll be cute, right? But yeah, let's see if we could get some people to join in tonight. But tonight I just want to talk about some fashion news, some things that are going on before I do my very highly anticipated recap of the Fashion Month season, which, as I keep saying incessantly, I keep hyping this thing up. I'm super excited to get back into the Fashion Week things and look at certain things at length and pick up on some things that I missed the first go round. Hi to whoever just joined in. Welcome to the space. I'm Yungfleur. We are live, and thanks for the thumbs up, babe. Very much appreciated. Tonight, what are we discussing? The people are joining in. The people are coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the space. Thank you for the thumbs up on the entry. So much love, so much respect in here. Hi, Morgan. Welcome to the space. How are you, my love? We are just getting started with things. My girl Ting had pulled up first to arrive. I gotta have some sort of like reward or some sort of a something for the first person or the first people to arrive to the live. We'll see. But anyway, yeah, tonight. This means I'm ready to get into it. Yeah, tonight I want to talk about 3 main topics that have been buzzing lately in the fashion news sphere. Hey, Morgan. Yes, my girls are in the place. It's time for the show. Great. I hope you're well. I love the fro. IG story she posted. Thank you. She's a little shrunken down now. The duality of the thing, right? But thank you. I was loving it. I haven't had my hair out. I haven't had my hair froed out, I think, all year. I don't think I've done it for real since like before the year ended, before the holidays, because usually I'm like, I will braid it, take it out, and I won't even give it like a day or two, and then I'm like right back to the damn braider. Shout out to Coro, shout out to my braider. No, I will not put y'all on. No, I will not give y'all her number because she's reliable and she is affordable. Some of the best prices in the city, and I don't need that going up on your behalf. No shade. Um, but anyway, welcome to everyone that's joining in. Please thumbs up if you haven't already. I'm Yungfleur. We are live. You already know what we're doing. Go ahead and tag your friends. Let them know to join on the internet because we are getting ready to have. Sorry, this time bar is sitting. Getting ready to have some very serious fashion conversation tonight. Okay, we're gonna get into our news. We're gonna get into our analytical, business sided part of things. So I'm sure there will be some breaking down happening for the girls, and feel free to stop me if I'm moving a little bit too quickly. All right. Okay, cute. So let's jump right into the thing because I'm only on this bitch for a motherfucking hour. Firstly, I want to talk about one of the news articles that's been like going around specifically as it pertains to one of my favorite brands to talk about. If y'all follow me by now, you already know The Gap. And The Gap, under creative director Zach Posen, announcing the launch of the Gap Studio line. Did y'all hear about this news? This Gap Studio thing? Are you familiar with it? It's something that's got me a bit curious. Let me know if y'all heard about it. Gap Studio, the launch of Gap Studio by Zach Posen, who's currently their creative director. So we've already seen Gap Studio in plenty of different instances. So as you may or may not know, once again, Zach Posen is the appointed creative director of the Gap, and he is in charge of basically ushering in the new vision, the new direction, and the new coin that the Gap is supposed to be leading itself to being able to accrue after what has been a really cursed past 2 decades at least of really terrible sales, um excuse me, constant executive shakeups, and just constantly missing the mark, um which is a shame because the Gap as we know it is like a behemoth in the American business sphere, and honestly a legend. And over time they really felt out of touch. They did what they could to try to like rock and roll with the trends, but it never really took off. And even the people that they would appoint to work as creative director or work on the creative teams were really talented people, like Patrick Robinson, for example. Like they really got very talented people with high accolades, but for some reason, whenever those motherfuckers would get in the Gap chairs, it became the hot seats. And as soon as their sales did not take off, they were out the door in like 3 to 5 years for most of them. And I think that contributes to what I've talked about in past lives as like that blue marine effect, where you switch out designers over and over and over, and eventually the public loses sense of what the brand is supposed to stand for or represent anymore anyway, because you guys keep jerking back and forth in so many different erratic movements and initiatives as you hire different directors that come up with a different vision, or you put pressure on these people to come up with these new initiatives that feel like they're on the pulse of what's going on and what people are looking to buy when they step out or when they go online. And the lack of faith in the continuity of it all, the whole, just the simple fact that they don't give the creative directors enough time to really get footing before they switch them out, which is a constant issue that we see even in the luxury levels. Lord, it's not outside. We see that even happening in the luxury levels. It's really a whole. I think the in general the financial climate is making brands very antsy and very quick to try to pivot to do whatever they can to keep themselves afloat. And it really is, owning a business is not easy. So it is a very gentle balance of trying to make yourself financially viable and be able to get all the coin that you need and hustle without looking desperate. Like, you also can't do that. Um like, you have to get the money without looking like you need the money, which is why, like I said before in past lives, a lot of the time you'll see these brands saying that they're doing well, they're doing better than ever, can't wait to introduce you to the next phase of things. And then you give it a couple months or a year or a couple years, and boom, the brand has gone down. And you're like, what happened? Like, they did all these big projects, they had these big celeb moments. I thought, everything was on the up and up. And it's like, no, they did all that stuff as signaling and as peacocking to make themselves look like they are doing well, so that investors will continue to invest with them or maintain the investments that they have. Because when you tell the public that you're not doing right, doing well, that's not motivation for investors to be like, let me throw some more money into this to keep them afloat. They're going to pull out. You're a sinking ship, and no one wants to jump on a sinking ship. So bringing it back to where we have now, the Gap Studio thing, I'm just really curious about whether it's going to work this time. And by work this time, I mean the Gap trying to adopt a more fashion forward collection for the masses. When time after time after time, the public has responded and shown that they don't really care for that from the Gap. Like, the Gap is seen as a basic brand. You go there for basics, that's what you expect to get. No one is going there for a high fashion experience. So unfortunately, I feel like they're kind of beating a dead horse over the head. I mean, they did have success with Yeezy, right? But I think that that was a whole different can of worms, which leads me to a question, because I think that, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think that the success of the Yeezy Balenciaga Gap collaboration, part of that was this, of course, the star power that Kanye holds, and his presence in the cultural zeitgeist. Now, do you think, when you compare that to a Zach Posen, do you think that he is as much of a mass cultural phenom or phenomenon that people would buy into the stuff? Like, do people see him as the type of household name that they would buy into because it's Zach Posen, the same way people would buy into Kanye because it's easy? You know what I mean? Then again, you have to break down other parts of it. You consider the fact that with the Yeezy Gap thing and with Kanye, a lot of his following is these really young hype beasts as well, and they power a good amount of the sales and the foot traffic. Heavy on the foot traffic, child, because ain't nobody got time to be pulling up to nobody's motherfucking Gap on 42nd Street at 5, 6 a.m. in the morning to get a drop of a black rubbery anorak jacket. I'm so sorry. I was not doing that. But I don't know. What do y'all think? Do you think that this has potential to give a little bit more? Y'all chime in and let me know in the comments. But to give y'all a little bit more background, we have already seen the emergence of the Gap Studio brand in the past year and a half. So firstly, there was Anne Hathaway in the dress. Let me go ahead and pull up content. Let me pull up photos. I know y'all tired of just looking at my big ass head the whole way through. I got you right now. But I do want to talk about Anne Hathaway's shirt dress that she wore. Was that to the Cannes Film Festival or something like that? Mm-mm-mm. Let me see if I can share it. There we go. Gucci. Getting laggy because then I'll switch the connection. But yes, there was this shirt dress. This was the first kind of like foray into the birth of this Gap Studio concept. And this was in July of 2024. It sold out almost immediately. The shirt dress that was $158, poplin white shirt dress made of 100% organic cotton. And this was the start of, welcome to everybody that's joined into the live space. Late as hell, but welcome. I'm Yungfleur. We are live. It's a Tuesday night. I'm glad that y'all pulled up. Please stick around and please give your boy a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Give your boy a thumbs up. I appreciate that. We are talking about a couple fashion news things before I get off for the night. So pay attention, look, listen, and absorb. Thank you. We're talking about the Gap launching their Gap Studio brand. This is going to be one of 3 different things I'm talking about tonight. So look alive, please. So yes, Anne Hathaway wearing the Gap shirt dress, the 100% poplin shirt dress, was the first foray into this Gap Studio high fashion for the masses concept that Zach was getting ready to introduce. $158 dress. Here she is giving you high slit. I mean, the dress isn't a favorite of mine, but apparently the girls were living for the milkmaid fantasy. I hear that's all the rage, according. So that sold through. And then let me see, what other moment was there? I think there was, there were a couple. I believe there's an article that breaks it down. But all in all, Gap has been adopting this thing where they debut pieces or they inject their pieces onto the red carpet as a way to bridge themselves being this basics, everyday, ready to wear brand into something that can also be worn for something a little bit glitzy. No, if that's gonna stick, y'all, I'm really not confident in that, just because I don't know. I really feel like the basics thing for Gap, that basics branding is just like their curse. And no one is expecting, like, there are other places that people go to get that kind of an effect. Mind you, they've been doing really well with the recent collaborations that they have with like Cult Gaia, with Palace, for example, that did really well. So there is promise to see this kind of lean into a more fashiony take on things. But I don't know if going into creating a whole separate brand that does these elevated basics or whatever is the key. We can see here the opening images to promote it. We've got the 3 top models, babe. They paid money. Mario Sorrenti on the lens, okay? Alex Consani, Iman Hammam, Anok in a bust down that's looking very wiggy. It's a very wiggy wig. It's a very wiggy wig, but okay. And I guess a preview of what we are going to come to from the Gap Studio collection. Zach posing over there looking, all boyish as he does. And this is just an example of what is to be expected from the Zach Posen Gap Studio collection. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling this little slip dress in the middle, but I mean, slip dress is just giving low-hanging fruit, although I do love this khaki tone as well. A little silky khaki shirt dress is not bad. As for the things on the side, I guess this jacket, I believe, also borrows a silhouette from the jacket that they had created for Demi Moore to wear, because she had like a red carpet Gap moment as well, wearing a piece from their Gap Studio collection recently during her press run for the Substance, or her awards tour run for the Substance. But get into these. Not gonna lie, I mean, a little burnt orange moment never hurt. We love that. And the cut on it as well. I don't know. What do y'all think? A few more examples for y'all to get into. And they talk about a lot of like this focus on fit. And I guess him trying to create more of that couture or kind of like a really tailored effect. Are y'all here? These numbers are going up and down, up and down. Let me know if y'all here in the live. Okay, yeah, the numbers are going crazy on this thing. But anyway, so the whole concept of brand creating this luxury premium sub brand thing is nothing new. Just about every brand that we know nowadays has one, from H&M to Zara, and all of these of course are Gap direct competitors. So it would make sense that they would want to kind of beef that up. I just don't think that that works for them. That's the problem. I just don't think that people are able to kind of make that connection in their head with Gap as a more premium brand, more high fashion kind of brand. And also, like, I feel like most of these middle America girls are not trying to get a high fashion look. Okay, this isn't necessarily what they're trying to give. And I just think it would pale in comparison to like H&M Studio and how I mean, I feel like this is exactly what they're trying to replicate, is like the H&M Studio collaboration sort of thing. They did say that Gap Studio will also be where they house a continuation of their designer collaboration. So Zach plans to continue merging with other brands for special limited edition collaborations, which, I mean, once again, another low hanging fruit kind of thing to do. And I don't know though, because I'm still curious about the way that the Cult Gaia collection performed when, like I said, so many pieces seem to have flown off the shelf, but they're also excuse me, so much in stock on the resale side of things, on the eBays and the Poshmarks and stuff. That Cult Gaia Gap collection is packed in there. Ooh, I need to give me a beverage in a second. But yeah, this is also an example of what they have with the girls in the Gap. Corseted pieces, the denim jacket. We've seen a crop moto jacket, I believe, that Alton Mason wore. Right. We have ooh, let me pitch on. I like that. So we have Emma Ratajkowski here, Emily Ratajkowski here. We have Demi Moore. We have Alton Mason, all wearing different variations of the denim jacket that is now available. I mean, the biker jacket that they made available. Timothy Chalamet pulled up to the Oscars, actually wearing a Gap moment. Satin trucker and ching pants. They called it the 90s loose fit. That is available for purchase on the Gap website, and I believe it sold out immediately after he wore it. But I think they since restocked. I think I checked yesterday, and they restocked the jacket, but the pants are gone, babe. They are gone. The pants are gone. But yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I'm very skeptical about how this Gap Studio thing will perform. I'm wondering what the marketing is getting ready to give and what the campaigning they're going to do around it to convince us. Aside from just putting things on the red carpet, they're going to have to make it shake. I don't think that's enough. It's definitely a splashy moment to get attention, but we need to enter into the next phase of things, as I said before in a past live. But yeah, Moving on from that though, I want to talk about a second thing, which is Cardi B, Miss Cardi. Miss Cardi B announcing her partnership launch a or under her name mainly, um, powered by Revolve, including a fashion line and a beauty line as well. Um, I'm like, let me find somewhere to read it. But let's talk about it. WWD reported that the partnership will include the launch of her debut apparel and beauty lines, and also marks Revolve's expansion into the beauty sector. So this is also Revolve's first foray into beauty, and they're using Cardi as kind of like their Trojan horse, their first ambassador to see their way through to that, which would make sense that, of course, they use someone that is probably going to be a very sure shot, a very expensive sure shot, but a sure shot indeed for this to do well, if anyone's going to be the one to really get it going. But is Cardi the one, the chosen for a foray into beauty and fashion? Y'all let me know what you think, but let's keep reading. She says, people have been expecting both from me. My beauty line, people have been expecting that like an album. When something is so expected, people want it to be the best or they want it to be the worst. So they can be like, haha, you haha, you don't know about shit, bitch. People expect the best from both fields. We have to come in strong. Some more information. Her creative partners, including her her creative partners include her longtime manager Patience Foster and her longtime stylist Colin Carter. Barty quipped that they do things out of spite because to be better than everybody when you do it out of spite is very, while noting that her brands will stay true to her authenticity. Um, Patience Foster, her manager, says it's literally reflecting and translating what we built in terms of Cardi B, the brand, the artist, and taking that same synergy and putting that into this. I think some people think that you have to remove your most authentic self to raise your profile. But I think what we've been able to do so great is embrace her most authentic self. If they say authentic one more time, Lord Jesus, if I read authentic self more time, and evolve that without changing who she is at her core. That's what we're trying to build in both categories. That was a whole lot of word fluff because I mean, we don't know what that means. What is this authentic self that they're channeling into fashion and beauty? We don't know what to expect from that. We don't know what kind of products we're getting from it. But hey, I understand this is the very first, warning shot of the arrival of this joint venture. But even still, I am curious, what is this authenticity that they're so excited to pump through? What is this thing that's been missing from the beauty and fashion sectors that Cardi is getting ready to in these brands that's gonna gather people's attention because they're hitting it with a different approach. I just, when Cardi says, does authentic equal ratchet child? I don't know what it means, but I mean, to me, I understand Cardi's brand to be this kind of elevated ratchet, like the designer ratchet. Child, I don't know. I don't know. But welcome. I didn't know you were in the space, my love. Welcome to the space. But yeah, of her authentic self channeling into this. I don't know what authentic self we are going to get because we've seen her authentic self in the fashions that she was giving before Colin Carter came over. I don't think anybody's trying to shop for that. No disrespect. And of course, like other that aren't necessarily based in fashion and are branching into that, she has her stylist and a stylist that is a stylist who has been consistently working with her over time as a partner on this. So no doubt, I'm sure he's going to be putting a lot of a lot of the direction into what this collection really looks like. At the end of the day, this is a bag. This is a grab bag for her. This thing could last a couple years and be done, a couple seasons and be done. If the money's not looking right, I don't think she's going to go too hard to continue to inject invest her time into it. It's just another person spinning us another celebrity line. And when she says, people have been expecting her beauty line for forever, I'm just like, they have? I'm not one of the Barty gang stands necessarily. I love Cardi, but I'm not like a stan for her necessarily. I'm not one of the carbs. So I wouldn't necessarily know, what the fandom is saying these days. But to say that people are expecting a beauty line from somebody who's not like, I don't know. I understand that we are in a time where people are begging to be marketed to. They are begging to be sold things. Like they are demanding that you market them and convince them to spend their money this way and that way. Um, I just don't know why the clamor for a beauty line from Cardi. Especially when I'm sure old girl is getting work done to fix whatever she needs to take care of. And that's no disrespect or shade to the plastic dolls and the surgery. It's not about that. It's more so it's like the girls who will go and get their stomachs done and then want to turn around and be trainers and sell ebooks. I'm like, a cash grab like that is so inauthentic to me. I understand that she loves to get dressed, but would I be looking to Cardi B for a fashion line? Who is? These Cardi fans, they're a mysterious lot, I will say. And so once again, she's going into fashion and beauty. Yeah, fashion collabs are more the thing. I think Cardi thrives as a muse. Like she really does. But once again, she's trying to get that money. And I understand from a hustling perspective, if the people are asking for you to give them something to spend their money on, who are you to deny them that? But yeah, I don't know. It's not like this is gonna be something that it's not gonna be the road, huh? A cute wig line. Like, don't sleep on the wig lines. Vivica A. Fox is still turning them wigs around. Queen of that shit. What do you mean? And I think I just feel like we've gotten to a place with the commerciality of celebs and the way people buy into it. Like it, like I know, shame me, but I still have moments where I look at we all can't be this dumb. We all can't be buying into this. Who's backing her? Revolve. Mm-hmm. It's a Revolve line. So, like I said, it's also Revolve's first time delving into the beauty department, and they're working with Cardi and her beauty line to be kind of like the first example of that. The bob does go crazy, I must say. Here for a crazy little asymmetrical Bobbiana. It is the spring summer season, and so I'm sure there will be a lot of tricks and shenanigans of the bob variety. Yeah, the bob goes crazy. I'm gonna take my LinkedIn pics just like this. This is gonna be the vibe. I'm about to copy paste and all that. Screenshot, chick and all that. Mm-hmm. Is given that shopped hourglass curves and all. Anyway, I do want to talk about one. I would buy that bob in a heartbeat. Listen, it goes. See that bob I posted of from Anna Williams from Tekken. They just showed the graphic for Tekken 8 for Anna Williams and Tekken 8, and her bob goes insane. It's the hateration and the holleration of it all for me. I just need y'all to get into her. Tell me she don't look like she be in Atlantic City, stealing from old men, getting tricked on like crazy. Not for nothing. Anna always looked like this, but she looked like she fucked black men. She looked like she fucked black men for real, Anna. She always gave that a little bit that she was down with the swirl, but bitch, oh bitch. When they took my girl and gave her this Tekken, now y'all know y'all out of pocket. Why would she have such a sickening color job? Why would the color jobs be so streaky and perfect though? Do you see that curtain bang, bitch? Crazy. Crazy. Now, this is who I need to see have a collection with Revolve, okay? A real fashion killer. I mean, girl. Oh, the cosplay is gonna eat. The cosplay bobs are going to chew. Do you understand? These little cosplay bobs is getting ready to go off. Off. Get this bitch from the side. From the motherfucking T-Boz did it first. It's the brow framing, accenting the curvature of the bang for me. Insane. Somebody's auntie got this posted up for the cookout. Listen, my Irish Nubian queen. I know that's fucking right. Anyway, let's move on to the last bit of news for the night. I want to talk about D Squared ending their licensing deal with Staff International. Did y'all hear of this? Did you hear about this? Let's talk about it because this is some like unexpected, at least for me, some unexpected tea. And really it's raising some more eyebrows about Only the Brave, the group. I did hear about this, but I don't have the full scope. I'm happy to break it down for you, my girl. So, motherfucker, the Swix. Here's the story 140 for you, girl. D Squared, they just recently held their collection, their anniversary collection, and they basically announced that they are ending their licensing agreement with Staff International. Now, who is Staff International? Staff International is the basically the manufacturing or the production company that Discord has been locked in with to manufacture and produce a lot of their goods. Now, Staff International is an entity that is owned directly by Only the Brave. Only the Brave is the fashion conglomerate that also owns D Squared. In addition to Maison Margiela, I believe, is it Jill Sander or am I bugging? Or did they, I think they sold off Jill Sander. Diesel, they owned Y Project until they folded, and a few other brands. Oh, Victor and Rolf, for example. I'm trying to think, there's a couple more. But they own those brands. And so basically in this deal, it forces D Squared's hand, where they basically have to pay only the Braves' own company in order to get the goods manufactured that they will then go ahead and sell. And because of that, this can also lead to the possibility of things like an impact on the pricing. So, if they have to work to the profit, the margins that Staff International has set for the production of the goods, they kind of have to follow that and keep that in mind with when they charge things. So when you think about the fact that D Squared be charging an arm and a motherfucking leg for some damn jeans, should be expensive as hell on D Squared side, and it's been that way. That could potentially be a good part of the reason why. Having to, mark up the price following the cost that they pay towards Staff International. So, now that is settled and squared away, the licensing deal was set to run until 2027. And D Squared surprised everybody when they recently announced and wrote the letter saying that they are filing to terminate the deal 2 years ahead of schedule, essentially. And so they were still supposed to be locked in this licensing deal with Staff International. They want out. And in turn, what they want to do is move things into in-house production, which is basically established, production within the company, within D Squared itself, so they're not outsourcing for that kind of stuff, which can really be great for a brand, especially like a luxury brand or any brand in general. But it's like a brand doing something like this where they cut their ties with a production company like this and decide to kind of vertically scale up, or vertically integrate, I mean to say. It's almost like an artist buying back their masters. Like, they just gain more control over everything, over the production of things, obviously, because that's all managed by them in-house and it's not another entity that has its own management. And also, they would have more of a hand on the pricing. Now, this, of course, is assuming that D Squared knows what the fuck they're doing and they got a good production company they're getting ready to build in-house. Because if they're able to do that successfully, then they're golden, right? And they're able to kind of set their prices to their whim and hopefully knock things down in terms of the profit margins, and hopefully knock down how much they charge us to buy their stuff, or y'all, because I don't be buying D Squared. Not gonna lie. But it could also backfire if they don't have a proper foundation set up for that in-house production, and it ends up having its own hiccups or its own issues or its own defects, or just is inefficient in general, and could turn into something that either ends up costing them more money or costing them tons of business. Now, of course, Staff International, of course, only the brave wasn't going to take that sitting down. Oh no. They're suing the fuck back like, girl, no, that's not fair. That's not what we agreed to. You're locked the fuck in with us. It's you and you and I together, bitch. And that's how it's going to be until 2027 at the very damn least. So bring your little ass over here on that vertically integrating bullshit. That was cute. Save that for a rainy day. For now, Staff International's handling the production over here. Thank you very much. So that's basically what's going on now. And we'll see where it goes from there. Seems like the Leather Twins jumped the gun too quick on dissolving the contract. Court fees and starting up the own production sounds so expensive. And that is another great point, my man. The fact that they're getting ready to do this, they may even have a good plan for how they are going to set up their own in-house production. But how are they going to establish this thing at the same time paying to battle it out with Staff International? Unless they're ready, unless they know something we don't and they're ready to go guns blazing and they got the coin to do it. But maybe they got some secret investor that's holding it down. Who knows? But Moreover, the overarching point is that D Squared and Only the Brave ain't seeing eye to eye right now. And there's some sort of beef that's brewing between the both of them that no one knows where that started from. Like I haven't heard any instances of them having problems with D Squared specifically. I mean, all we've been talking about, of course, is Galliano ending his contract with Maison Margiela, and where he was going to go after that, which we're still waiting to hear about, right? Also, like I've been fucking screaming from the mountaintops the fact that Only the Brave still owns Galliano, John Galliano, the brand, and that brand is just kind of floating by. It's just a floating copyright, and there is no creative director there for real. I mean, I'm sure there is, but there's no like. They're not doing collections. Like no one is. It's a footnote right now, and it's still been existing ever since they ousted Galliano after his outburst. Like it's still sitting there collecting dust, literally. So I don't know. I always felt like Only the Brave seem to have like a good handle on their business, and Renzo Rosso in particular. Like I always saw him to be. I've always seen him to be like a really good leader and having an eye for how to preserve the entity of these really distinct brands that they represent, and that's really what makes me like Only the Brave more than anything is the fact that they represent some really cool brands that bring a lot to fashion and have a very necessary space there. Margiela, Victor and Rolf, Diesel, what else? What else? What else? Y'all could Google it. But either way, I feel like they have some really interesting novel heavyweights under their belt. I wonder if there's any additional information. It said, consequently, the group will assume direct control over the production and distribution of its ready-to-wear collections. This is D Squared Group. This transition takes effect immediately and will commence with the upcoming pre-collection spring-summer 2026 sales campaign. Now, you have to understand, they signed this deal originally with Staff International in 2000, then renewed the deal after the first 10 years for another 17 years. Girl, I don't think anyone signing that deal 17 years or I guess 15 years ago is not like signing it now. We are in very different financial straits. So of course things are going to have to change. I'm sure they're trying to figure out ways to cut costs. Like that is, like I said, that can be a very beneficial way for a brand to cut their costs is to bring everything in-house, because then you're able to set your own prices for the most part. Like they got the coins like that. Those raccoon fur varsity jackets must be selling like hotcakes. This is a 360 deal. Child. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They are wrapped up, and Only the Brave is not happy about it. And D Squared, and the other thing that's so mysterious about it is that there is no smoke. Like there's just fire. Like no one knows why it's happening. No one knows that there's any outward beef between D Squared or Only the Brave. There hasn't been any reported instance of it in the past however long that I can remember. If y'all got an article, let me know. But I haven't heard them to have any issues. And so for them to kind of just break out like this all of a sudden with this very definitive statement, like moving on their own type of time, I'm like, oh, they've had enough. And I'm sure it's been a conversation. I can imagine that this has been a conversation that they had ahead of time, and they've probably been trying to break out of it already. I mean, it's 15 years into it. I wouldn't be surprised if one day in those 15, they were like, especially post-pandemic, they're like, we really could use, a more flexible way to handle this thing in a way that will help us save money. And Only the Brave being like, girl, tough titty. Y'all ain't going no motherfucking where. Wait, look at the related stories at the bottom. Levi's and Denim Tears collab about the New Orleans Mardi Gras Indians. Babe, do I want to do it to my live? We are just. We are just. How did you even peep that? I know where you looked, babe. Hold on. Denim. Oh. This announced. Levi's and Denim Tears are running it back for a 4th season. What's this about? Inspired by New Orleans and the Black masking Indian tradition, the duo's latest collection highlights the artistry and culture of the young Seminole hunters and the Big Chief Diamond Melancon with 8 pieces designed to combine heritage with modern streetwear. Standout silhouettes include the photo trucker jacket, based on the Type 3's design and features imagery of the young Seminole hunters wearing their traditional ceremonial garb, as well as a photo jeans, which boast similar photography on trousers akin to the 568 Stay Loose jeans. Notably, both pieces are made intentionally imperfect so that no 2 items are the same. Ooh. Ciao. That's them. Oh, it didn't even flash over to the next thing. My bad. This is where I was reading it from. Ah, why does it keep doing that? All right, this is the video campaign for it apparently. These photo jeans. No shade. I'm so mentally checked out of these WTA things. Like I told you, like me, it's not about sitting there and hate watching things. I'm just apathetic. I just won't even take any chance to pay attention and piss myself off. But I mean, cute for Tremaine. Um, but yeah, hold on. I think I'm going to hop off. Of course it's rage bait. That's all these people, the Kanye's and all of them, they thrive on the currency of hate engagement because you can still sell that. You can still market that. You can still pitch and mine engagement no matter what the means. It's trash, child. I won't be purchasing it. Shout out to them. I'm gonna get off for the night. I will be back on Thursday at 9 p.m. Same time, same place. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking about. I'm reorganizing. I'm organically figuring out the schedule for these kind of things. I'm feeling like the Tuesdays and Thursdays we're getting people, but it's not. I feel like I might go down to 1 day a week. I don't work Thursday, so I'll be back. I think I might bring the Yungfleur live down to 1 day a week, at least for now. Maybe when we get back into the Fashion Week season for real, I'll do more. And I have my random pop-up, so I'll just jump on. But I think I might bring it just to a Thursday live so that we can kind of just like have enough juice, and I can also do the hopefully a little bit of a podcasting moment too. So that's the other part. I want to have some more time to make different types of content. Just more for y'all. At the end of the day, I do it for you. But anyway, I'm gonna be gone. I'm dipping, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Thank you so much for joining the Young Flare Life Space. It's been cute. Follow your boy on YouTube right over here. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram as well. And stay tuned for the very next, very special Young Flare Live with yours truly. I'll see y'all later. Have a good night. Bye.